Hello everyone, and welcome to another session of Power Platform Learner to Leader. I welcome you, and I'm really delighted to have you here today. Today, we have an awesome guest, and in that case, let's go with the next late here. Today, we have Amaranda, who will present us an awesome session. I will just bring him to the stage in a couple of seconds. What you can also see is we have, again, a great lineup this month, and we're just happy to continue more or less the next days with some other awesome sessions. But today we just continue with Miranda and his awesome session. So before we start, obviously, what is very important as well is Microsoft Learn. We have also a learning group where you can just join in here, which we just showing you in that case. So if you're just interested to learn more about Power Platform, and that doesn't depend on if you're beginner or if you're pro, you can just join this learning room, and then you can just ask any kind of question and learn more about Power Platform. And we're here and want to help you to climb up in your career with all our help and our support. So we also have a code of conduct, which is very important that we just follow this as well. We want to be very respectful. We respect everyone. There are no dumb questions. There are always good questions, and we try to also to answer that kind of things as well. But now let me just bring in Armenda to the stage. And hi, welcome.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's wonderful to be here. So we'll learn about Power Pages in this session and why they're important, what they are, and what makes them unique. We'll dive into capabilities of Power Pages. For years, organizations wanted to build quick websites for their either public-facing sites or vendor portals that they can interact with their vendors to do business with. And SharePoint at some point of time had capability to build public facing sites. And then I think they killed that capability around about 2010 or 2013. And then they leveraged CRM portals or Dynamics portals and then slowly converted them into Power Apps portals and then into Power Pages. So essentially, Microsoft is basically coming back into the groove and supporting that feature to build the public facing sites, and we'll learn how to do that today. So again, as I've said, we'll look into what are the key capabilities of Power Pages and what makes them unique, how you can integrate other Power Platform components into Power Pages, and we'll see an end-to-end demo towards the end. A little bit about myself. I'm a digital transformation leader and a Microsoft MVP, principal architect at Proficient. I have over 16 years of experience now. Time to update the slide, I guess. But I've worked with every single version of SharePoint since its inception. That goes all the way back to 2001. So I just happen to have the luck to work with every single version through migration projects, through different client engagements. And that's my LinkedIn profile. I'll be happy to answer any questions if you would like to connect. And who is Proficient? We are a global consulting firm with branches across the world in North America, Latin America, Europe, India, China, and still expanding. And what we do is anything on Azure, M365 deployments, Teams deployments, employee experience platforms, Power Platform engagements, CRM, Dynamics, and those are some of the awards that we won towards the bottom right corner. And we specialize in modern work, security, digital app innovation. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you or connect you with the right person. So let's jump in. You probably have seen Microsoft Power Platform, this slide, for probably 100 times already, but let's take a step back and see what Power Platform is, right? It's a comprehensive set of integrated low-code development tools which are baked under one umbrella, and it has 5 main components to it. Power Apps, which think of it as a front-end layer or application layer of the application that you're building, user interface of your application. And there are multiple flavors to it, Canvas app and model-driven app. If you want more freedom and more creativity and more flexibility, on how your screen behaves, on how your buttons are gonna, behave, how you navigate from one screen to the other. If you just want to have tight control on the user interface of the application, I would recommend you to start from or choose Canvas app. But let's say you already have an existing data model, whether it's in SQL, Azure, or some other external systems. You would like to leverage the existing data model, and you want to build an application layer on top of it. You would go with a model-driven app. So those are the two flavors. In a sense, it's a user interface of your application. Power Automate is there to automate any business process that you can think of. It could be as simple as a leave approval. It could be as complex as going between different departments for different approvals based on the business cases. And you can also implement robotic process automation if you want to automate some of the manual tasks on your desktop. And Copilot Studio is like when you go to your healthcare website or credit card website, those are little chatbots that pop up and say, here is your account summary. How can I help you? Do you want to make a payment, or do you want to schedule a doctor's appointment? Those are the little virtual agents that you can build using Copilot Studio. And Power Pages, it's a platform for building secure data-centric websites where you can bring other components of Power Platform and embed them onto this platform. So Power Pages is a platform for building data-centric, external-facing, public-facing websites. And Power BI is there for data exploration. If you want to build powerful dashboards for the C-level executives with all the filters and kind of drilling into the data, presenting the data, that's Power BI for you. And then underlying, you still have data connectors, Microsoft Dataverse, managed environments, AI builders, all these core capabilities in Power Platform. So that, in a nutshell, what Power Platform is. And today we'll dive deeper into Power Pages. And feel free to stop me at any point if you have any questions. Power Pages is a secure enterprise-grade software as a solution platform using which you can build data-centric, external-facing, public-facing sites. And whether you're a low-code maker or a professional developer, there's a flexibility in Power Pages for you to build the websites. You can build a website just within the browser, or if you're comfortable, or if your team is comfortable or would like to manage the website using Visual Studio Code, you can open the website in Pro Code and edit the website from there. And one good thing with Power Pages is everything would work seamlessly across multiple browsers and devices. That's by design. So you don't have to worry about website being able to fit to the right device in a right ratio, right aspect ratios, and across all the browsers. You don't have to worry about any of that. So it's responsive by design. It would work seamlessly across all the devices and all the browsers. So what makes them unique is being part of the Power Platform in itself, a Power Platform ecosystem, right? You can build end-to-end powerful solutions with Power Platform and with Power Pages. You can build a website, and then you can embed different components of Power Platform onto the website. For example, you build a website with Power Pages, and then let's say you want to build a couple of forms for the users to fill out. You leverage Power Apps, and you embed those forms onto the Power Pages. And then when they submit some forms, you want to automatically do something, like whether it's sending a notification or acting on the feedback, you leverage Power Automate. When they submit the form, you kick off a workflow in the backend. And then you can embed Power Virtual Agents onto your website to help the users interact with your website, like a chatbot experience. And then you can build powerful dashboards and embed them onto the web pages as well. So connectors are the core of Power Platform. As we speak, there are more than 1,000+ connectors that you can leverage. As long as your data has an API or an out-of-the-box connector, Power Platform can integrate with your data. Your data doesn't need to exist in the M365 boundary. It can be anywhere. And as I've said, connectors are the game changers, and you can leverage them to connect to the data sources, pull that data in, and work with the data as needed. Or as if you don't have the data connector available, as long as your data source supports an API layer, you can interact with the data and bring that data onto your Power Pages or onto your Power Platform, other components, and then work with those components. And it's an enterprise grade level software as a solution platform. So you don't have to worry about hosting the website. You don't have to worry about scaling up or down depending on the traffic. The platform provides multiple authentication and authorization protocols. Security is built in, and there are tons of templates that you can choose from if you want to build using the templates that Microsoft provides you. These are some of the core capabilities. So simplified authoring experience for makers. So if you're familiar with SharePoint or in general any web browsing tools, you can edit the website within the browser. So you don't have to leave your browser. Just stay within the browser and you can build the websites. And new Fluid Design Studio experience enables you to drag and drop controls and easily change the layouts of the pages on the fly, just staying within the browser. And everything is responsive by design, as I've said. But if let's say if your team is if your team has more pro developers and they prefer to edit the website using Visual Studio Code, they can open the website in the Visual Studio Code and play with the HTML and liquid tags, and they can work with the code, and website would still respect that as well. And security and governance are baked in. They provide a lot of controls in the admin section, which we'll see in a demo in a moment. So as I've said, it can fully integrate with other Power Platform components to make it end-to-end solution. And then you can have different identity providers set up on your website, like LinkedIn, Gmail. You can let people log into your website using those identity providers. So you can securely engage with external customers and partners. And Azure AD B2C, business to consumer, it's a white label authentication service that you can leverage, and you can let people log in or register using any one of these, like Microsoft accounts or LinkedIn, Gmail, Azure B2C, and then vendors or external customers can come into your website and then access the content on the website. The beauty of Power Pages is you can have mixed authentications. You can have more than one authentication providers as well. For example, let's say you want to have your public-facing sites open to everybody on the web. Nobody need to log in, or everybody can access it on the web. You just go to public, homepage of your site. Everybody can see the content on the site. But let's say there are a couple of pages that you want to log down to authenticated users only. You can log down those individual pages to the authenticated users. So you can have like public-facing open pages, like public pages on your website, which are open to the world. And then you can lock down certain pages to people who are coming in using an identity provider. So you can have a combination of both. And we'll shortly see a demo, but environments. So in Microsoft Power Platform, you can only build the Power Pages in a non-default environments. So think of environments as buckets. So they hold a couple of components and solutions together, and you build Power Pages in one environment and you take it from one environment to the other. Think of them as like a dev environment, and then staging, and then production environments. And you get, by default, you get a default environment out of the box in Power Platform, and you cannot create Power Pages in that environment. So if you're ever trying to create Microsoft Power Pages, make sure you're in the non-default environment, because there's a possibility of you exposing the data of the organization to the public using or by leveraging Power Pages. That's why Microsoft limits your ability to build that Microsoft Power Pages in the default environment. So make sure you're in the non-default environment. And as I've said, there are different templates that you get out of the box to build the Power Pages, which we'll again see in a minute. They're grouped into different categories. So up at the tab in the middle of the screen, if you're building something to, some websites to track your applications, you would go to progress tracking and choose the right template. Or if you're trying to build a website to, to support the after school program, you would go to scheduling and pick a template. If you don't like any templates, you can start from scratch. And here is pricing or licensing. I'm not a licensing expert by any means, but this is one of the products where licensing is pretty cut and dry and pretty clear. So for authenticated users, it's $200 for 100 users per site per month. You can have more than one site in your environment. So as you buy more licenses, the cost would get cheaper and cheaper. And for anonymous users, which is public facing, they don't need to authenticate your website. For 500 users, it's $75 per site per month. And then there are volume, Power Page Meters is more like, pay as you go model. It's still in preview. And that's not, whenever that's rolled out, you can leverage that as well. And going back to the subscription plans, there's a volume discount. So if you buy more licenses, let's say 10,000 users, the price would drop to $75. In 100,000 users, it drops to $50 per 100 users. And then there are volume discounts available for the anonymous users. So I would recommend you to start small and then scale up as needed or scale out as needed. Any questions before we dive into the demo? All right, if not, let's jump in. So the way you access Microsoft Power Pages is you go to make.powerpages.com, make.powerpages.microsoft.com. So that's how you go to the Maker portal, and this is the landing page on your website. And as you know, Copilot is everywhere, and you can leverage Copilot to build the websites for you, which would give you a head start with the website design. And I've used it in the past, and it's amazing. So 70% of the work can be done using Copilot right up out of the gate up front, and then you tweak the models and tweak the apps and embed them, adjust them. Remaining 30% can be done relatively easily. For someone like me who is not a designer, I absolutely loved using Copilot to build Power Pages. But we're not going to look into Copilot today, but just to let you know that feature is there if you want to leverage that. So on the homepage, you will see active sites and inactive sites, 2 tabs. So the name itself, it's self-explanatory, right? So all of your active sites would be shown up here, and then you can edit the website right from here, and then you can preview. If you click these 3 dots, you can go to portal management, which is the backend, and you click on admin center, which takes you to the admin section of your website. And here are the templates that I spoke about a few minutes ago. As you see, there are different starter layouts, and if you tab through these categories up at the top, you'll see different templates that are available, and you can just pick the one that you like. And you can also search for the templates as well. Let's say registration or scheduling. You can type like for whatever you want to type. And the cool thing is you see this template right here, and it says cross industry, and they have templates categorized based on the industry. And you see the financial, if you go to scheduling tab, it says financial. So probably suited for some banking websites that you want to build. So if you go to application submission, it could be geared towards your county, and government can use this template to build the sites to track applications. and registration. So you just navigate these tabs up at the top and find the right template that you like. Let's say I like this template, right? I'll pick a random one, cross industry. And you can preview the template and see how the template is going to look when you build a website. And you can navigate to different screens or different pages right here and see how your website is going to look like. And in the right-hand rail here, it explains what your website comes up with, or what this template includes automatically. It includes some homepage. It includes a homepage, some sub pages, and contact us form, and it supports the search, so search results, and you can click learn more to learn more about this template. And one cool thing is you switch to mobile here, and you can see how your website is going to look on mobile as well. So you can make an informed decision even prior to getting started with the template. And then once you decide on a template, you just click on this button, choose this template, and then you basically start your website from there. And one of my favorite features in Power Pages is Learn tab. I wish Microsoft did this across the board for all the other components, but whenever you want to learn about a topic or a new technology, you go to Bing or you go to Google, YouTube, and search for different videos and articles and whatnot. Microsoft did a tremendous job of pulling everything together under one umbrella right here. All you need to learn about Power Pages is in this Learn tab. So you go to Design and Build tab. You can see how you can leverage different styling workspaces, different themings, how you can style the website, how you can create Power Pages with the templates. All of that is right here. And then how do you connect to your Dataverse? These are tutorials and videos that you can follow and learn how to integrate Dataverse, or how you can connect to Dataverse. And how can you customize and extend your website? How can you connect to the third-party systems? How can you embed Power Automate workflows? And how can you connect to different APIs? How can you reference different code components? Everything is right there in this one tab, in one grouping up in different tabs right here. How can you secure your website? What are the go live checklists or checklist items that you need to check prior to going live? And how do you administer and monitor traffic to your website? So everything is there right in this tab. This is amazing. And you can just, go through everything to learn more about these. And solutions is like you build the Power Pages website in one environment, and how do you deploy that to production or staging? That's a different topic altogether, but you essentially, in a nutshell, you build Power Pages, and then you create a solution, add your Power Pages in all other supporting components like forms or Power Automate workflows and all of them, and you deploy the solution from dev to staging or production. That way you're maintaining different environments. And one word of caution, everything that you're building in Power Pages is live, and end users can see the website changes live. And that's why I recommend at least 2 environments, if not 3, and then have dev environment where you make all the changes, and then you deploy that website to production environment. All right, so let's go back to the homepage and edit one of the website. And as you can see, here you see the Power Apps portal. So brief history of Power Pages is they used to be called as Dynamics portals before. And then I think they called it CRM portals to begin with. And then it became Dynamics portals. And then it became Power Apps portals. And now it's Power Pages. So the evolution of these Power Pages came from Dynamics portals, and everything in the backend is still Dynamics. So I want to quickly show you. If you click on these 3 dots and go to Portal Management, and you see the URL right here, it says CRM Dynamics, right? So Everything that you see in the back end is still in the Dynamics. Whatever you see in the front end, like files that you upload, styles, and different templates, and all of them, tables, all of them are available in the Dynamics. So let me go back to my home page and then edit one of the page or edit one of the sites. So here is the website that we're going to edit. As you can see, Copilot pops up and say, hey, can I help you with page design or data forms, or what do you want to do with your website? So basically you can navigate. On the left-hand side, there's a marquee navigation in the left-hand side where you see all the pages, the home page and contact us and news page and all of that. And if you go to pages and expand pages, and you see the lock symbol right here, that means this page is locked to authenticated users only. You cannot, keep it. This page is not open to public. So in order to edit the page, I can come here and then edit site header and just say, instead of saying Microsoft Power Platform components, I just say Microsoft Conference, and then, you can upload a different site logo, and then you go to styling tab here. You can choose the brand colors and header background. This is amazing. Header supports the background images now. And then if you go to layout, it gives you how your site responds across different devices. You can zoom in or zoom out and see the how it's changing in the back end as you change the website. So it's pretty cool what you can do just using browser in itself. And as I've said, if your team is more comfortable editing the website using Visual Studio Code, you can just hit edit code, which will open it in Visual Studio, and then you can edit the website in Visual Studio. So let's go ahead and look into some of the styling aspects. As you can see, these are different themes available out of the box using which you can style your website. And there are different color palettes available. And there are different fonts that you can choose, different styles. And this supports custom CSS as well. If you have your own styling sheets, you can use them as well. So you can control section spaces, margins, and a lot of controls using themes and controls, themes and styling controls here. And if you go to data tabs, data tab here, it pulls up all the tables that are available for your website to pull into, right? So right now I only have one table, which is a feedback table. And I want people to be able to submit feedback to my website. Or if they want to get in touch with me, I want to have users access that form and submit, right? And then you basically pull that table into your website, and there are different views that you can create for the same form or tables. And then you'll see all the forms right here. Feedback, the main, and new comment form, simple contact us form. Basically, you're pulling the table data onto your website. That's what you're doing here. And if you go to security, and this is where you see different security controls. And if you go to web roles, you can create different roles like administrators, anonymous users, and authenticated users. And you can control who can do what on your tables. So if you go to table permissions right here, you see the feedback table that I have here. And I'm giving access to all of the roles, authenticated and anonymous users, and they can create entries into my tables. So you can control what roles can do what on your website. Can they just read, or can they also create entries in a table? So you can control how much of an access you're giving to which roles using these security controls. And if you go to page permissions, as you can see, homepage is open for all users who can access everybody on the web. but my sub page 1 can only be accessed by authenticated users. So that means it's logged down to the users who are securely logging onto my website. So you can have a combination of both, like anonymous pages and authenticated pages. And let's see, web application firewall. This is more like firewall configurations that you can set up. You can set up different rules and all of that. And if you go to identity providers, this is where you see different identity providers that are supported: Azure Active Directory B2C, and then Google, Microsoft, LinkedIn. You just need to configure these identity providers, and then people can log in or sign up using those identity providers for your website. And then by default, even though public Power Pages supports public-facing sites, everything is private. So if you want to make your website public, you have to come here and edit the toggle or change the toggle to public, and that's when people can see your website. And then there are some advanced settings like CARS support, cross-origin resource support, cookie and permission policies, and all of that. So you can learn more. You can dig more here. And one thing I want to quickly show you is the portal management. So if you click on portal management app right here, it takes you to the back end of your website, which, as I've said, is still in Dynamics. Keep an eye on the URL. CRM Dynamics is where everything lies in the back end. And you see all the forms in the lists and web files that you upload, whether they are images or style sheets, all of them can be accessed in the backend for you. And you see all the web roles that you created, all of them admin, anonymous, authenticated users. You can create more roles, of course, but you see everything in the backend here. One of the cool features that I like in the admin, in the portal management, is enable traffic analytics. So if you want to track the traffic of your website, where the traffic is coming from, how they're using your website, and how they're navigating your website, you can simply leverage this portal analytics. And Microsoft gives you this, if you go to enable Azure Application Insights for your website, Microsoft gives you the JavaScript that you can copy, paste into your Power Pages or backend portal analytics right here. And all you need to do is change the connection string to your Application Insights ID. So Application Insights is essentially where everything gets logged, and you can analyze the traffic, Azure Application Insights. And then it has an ID, and you simply paste that ID here and copy this script and paste it into here. And by automatically, all the traffic, all the audit, everything is tracked in Azure Application Insights for you, where you can dig in and see how people are navigating your pages, how much time they're spending on each page, how they're searching the website, or if you want them to go to certain page from a home page, what's the navigation path that they are taking? Are they going from home to your site page, into a page, or are they just searching for the content? So you can see all of those metrics behind the screens. So that's how you see your traffic and how they're interacting with your website. And let's see. And yeah, let's go ahead and edit the website in real time. And I'll take any questions if you have in the meantime. Any questions? All right, if not, let's see. So if you go back to homepage, and then let's say you want to edit the website, you click add section here, and you can choose a 3-column layout, 2-column, 1/3. This is pretty similar to SharePoint if you have ever edited a SharePoint site within the browser. So I already added a section here. Let's go ahead and add one more, like a 3-column layout, right? And you see here how it automatically is showing different components that I can add to the website. And if you click on these 3 ellipses, you see more controls that you can add. So you can add different images, You can embed different videos, iframe components. You can embed different forms and Power BI reports. You can embed a lot of things onto the page in itself. So let's say I just want to add some text, right? Microsoft Rocks. And I just go here. And as you can see, you can leverage Copilot to write things up for you. For now, I'm just going to copy, paste this, and add some text. Right, and then I go to the next section here, and add an image. I would like to add an image. Let's pick a guy reading a newspaper and hit OK. And if I edit this, if I go to settings, more options. Advanced options. I want to show you how you can. Yeah, there it is. So you can control different shadow and border and corner radius. One of my favorite thing. I can't tell you how much time I spent to get the rounded corners in the past. So if you play with this pixels corner radius, you see in the back end how I'm getting the rounded corners automatically using this control, which is pretty cool. I spent countless number of hours to get that rounded corners in the past. So thanks Microsoft for bringing that out of the box, and then you can control width and height and all of that, and different. There are various controls that you can choose, and this is a cool rounded corner that I got just out of the box with a click of a button. I got the rounded corner. See that? And then what you can do is you can also come here, and then you can embed a video right here onto the website. You can go to your YouTube or Microsoft Stream, and you can put let's go to YouTube and go to Microsoft Mechanics channel. And we'll just pick a random video for now. And let's say I'm going to pick this. And I come here and just embed the video right here. It plays right within the page for you. And what you can do is you can come here, add a button, and say, learn more. And I can have a channel link to Microsoft Mechanics. So if I go back here, oops. So I go to Microsoft Mechanics. This is the channel link, and I go back and then put the URL right here and hit OK. See how easily you can build a website using different controls, different layouts. And then if I go to edit background of my section, I can see how easily you can change the background color of your sections. That's pretty amazing. And with the choice of my colors, probably you can tell I'm not a designer, right? So, but you can edit the background right there, and you can have an image as your background, which is pretty cool for different sections. And then you can change the layouts even after you build the layout, or you can go back to, let's say, 2-column layout. You see how the video is pushed down if you go to the 3-column layout. Or you can just go back and switch back to 1/3. You have different controls and different layout options that you can use to leverage. And then you can stack things horizontally, vertically, and then different stylings, section design that we just saw, and other settings like column margins, padding, spacing. You can control a lot of these things right here. And if you, as I've said, if you prefer to edit everything in Visual Studio Code, you simply go edit code, and then it'll open it in Visual Studio Code. One thing I want to let you know is sync. So a lot of people get confused with the sync button, which you might think as you're syncing the changes like to the production site, but that's not it. What changes, the changes that you're making right here are live. People can see them live. So if you edit the website title or if you're editing an image, people can see it live. So what sync does is, let's say you added new tables to your environment, and when you sync, the tables are going to show up under data section right here. Right? So that's what sync is. Sync is not syncing your changes to the public facing site. Sync is like getting the new tables that are there in your environment, and then they'll be displayed here for you to pick from. So that's the sync button. So that's the reason I always recommend people to have at least 2 environments. That way you can make your changes in the dev environment and take those changes to the production environment. So again, you can deploy things through solutions and different command line interfaces, but sync is not to sync your changes that you're making on the website. Sync is to get the tables into your website. And then you can preview it. Once you, let's say, design your website, you can preview it. And cool thing is you can scan the barcode with your mobile and see how the website is going to look on your mobile. And you click on desktop, it'll show you how your website is going to look. This is the previous one, so it's thinking about it. It's going to refresh in a moment, but so there it is. So this is how your website is going to look live. And here is a website like in a preview mode, right? And you can, play the video in line, and you click on learn more, which would take you to the Microsoft Mechanics channel. This is the web image, and you can have, different text. And this is like a layman design. You can build much more fancier looking websites using Power Pages. This is just to show you what controls are available, right? So you can add different components like this with rounded corners, and you can have different images and whatnot. You can have different section backgrounds on your website. You can have full width section as well. So you can do a lot of things on your website just using out-of-the-box templates, and you can embed different Power BI dashboards and whatnot. So you can do a lot of things just by using the browser and out-of-the-box templates. Any questions? So if not, let's go back to the home page one more time. And I want to show you the Admin Center controls. So if you go to the Admin Center right here, click on 3 ellipses and go to Admin Center. And here is where you see the backend settings or the admin controls of your Power Pages website. Once it loads, you can basically control from where your website can be accessed. You can put some IP restrictions. You can have custom domains if you would like, and you can change the base URL of your website and site health. This is my favorite thing. For example, let's say you're building a website, and most probably not like your header and footers are not going to change that much, so you want to cache them to improve the speed at which your website loads, so that caching is enabled automatically. And they just want to check whether caching is enabled for header and footer. Those are some of the quick things that it goes through and gives you the site health, like what are the things that you're doing rightly and what are the things that you need to do differently to enhance the performance of your website. And as you can see, you can upload custom SSL certs, custom certificates to protect your website, and you can have IP restrictions, as I've said, and you can go to site actions. And for some reason, if you needed to restart the website, you can, and you can have have custom editor page or disable custom editors. You can enable maintenance mode of your website if something is going on with your website. And and you can edit and see a lot more controls in here. So let's go back to the home page. And I just want to show you, let's say you want to start with the template and create the website from scratch to begin with, and you choose this template, and you see, because it's a public facing site, or because it's a cloud-based platform, the initial URL that you're going to give needs to be unique. So let's say I want to give a base address of test. It says that URL is not available because it's hosted on Microsoft Cloud Platform. So someone must have taken that base address already, or Microsoft might have reserved the base address for you to grab. So you can give a site name, but the site URL needs to be unique to begin with. As you can see, the domain name still says Power Apps Portals right here. It's eventually going to change, but for now it says Power Apps Portals still, because that's what Power Pages was before. And you can obviously change it to a custom domain using your custom SSL certs and whatnot once you build it. But to begin with, you give a base address that is available. So let's say dev proficient 123. Hopefully this is available, and it gives you a tick, and you can choose that base address and then go ahead and hit done. That's what creates the website for you. It's going to take good like 40-45 minutes. At times it takes about 25 minutes at least, but give it roughly about 40 minutes for your website to be created to begin with. Don't be in a rush to create that and show it to the client. It's going to take some time initially to bring everything together, and then you can build the Power Pages from there pretty quickly. So I'll go ahead and go back to my landing page. Any questions here? If not, that's the end of my presentation. So I'll go back and stop sharing my screen. And thank you so much for attending my session. And let me know if you have any questions. Happy to answer them.
Awesome. So thank you very much for having a great overview about what Power Pages is and what capability it is. I think not everyone knows about this. So that was a really good overview about it. Thank you for that, Aravinda.
Absolutely.
We don't have any questions in the chat so far. So in that case, thank you very much for your time. Absolutely. And showing up and bring us a little bit more joy into Power Pages. Hopefully you enjoyed this as well as I did. And yeah,
I loved it. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I would love to do more of these. So thanks again.
You're welcome. We have love to have you in the future as guests as well. Yeah. So thank you very much, and take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.